Namaste, children. Welcome back to Social Science class. In today's class, let us learn about Bhakti cult and Sufi heritage. Children, Indian society is inclusive of many cultures. We have got many cultures, you all know, isn't it, children? Yes, in this society, caste system, you all know that caste, this caste, what not, so many castes. This caste system, superstitious. Superstitions is the Moodanambike, blindly believing, and pseudo rituals. Pseudo rituals are fake, which is not at all real. They are called pseudo rituals. All these were deep rooted, like caste system, superstitions, and pseudo rituals were deeply rooted. So it was believed that attaining moksha is salvation. Attaining moksha for the common man was actually it was impossible, they believed. So the medieval society was under the impression that the common people were not eligible for such a destiny like moksha. To get moksha, it is not possible for the common man. During this period, saints of Bhakti cult and Sufi tradition brought in a social and religious reformation. They stressed the importance of global brotherhood and taught that bhakti is the best way to attain moksha. And also, this path is called as bhakti cult. The word bhakti is from the Sanskrit word, children. Sanskrit word bhuj. Sanskrit word bhuj. Bhuj means the knowledge. Bhuj means the knowledge. What is this gist of this bhakti cult? Let us learn about the gist of the bhakti cult, children. Bhakti cult condemned discrimination. It preached equality. There is no high or low or higher caste, lower caste, nothing. There was no discrimination at all. It preached equality among the people. And the saints of Bhakti cult, they opposed and condemned superstitious beliefs or superstitious practices. And also, these saints, they undertook the task of uniting the hearts of the people. According to Sufi saints, dharma is love and service to mankind. See, the Sufi saint said, Dharma is love and service to mankind. God is one, not many, they preached. Okay, children. So let us learn about, first of all, about the Bhakti heritage in South India. Here you can see this, children. This is the photo of Andal. So, here, children, Andal is one among the 12 Alvars. Alvars were the Vishnu devotees, the devotees of Vishnu of Tamil Nadu. Among them, Andal was the 12th Alvar. She was an adopted daughter of Vishnu Chitta. So, Vishnu Chitta was an Alvar who was also called Periyalvar. He was also called as Periyalvar. And Alvar, this Vishnu Chitta, he adopted a child called Andal. But Andal's original name was Goda Devi. Andal's original name was Goda Devi. They were devotees of Lord Krishna. Her father was making, you see her father, he was making flower garlands and offering it to Krishna temple at Srivalli This is the Krishna temple at Srivalli Andal loved Krishna. She was very much affectionate and she loved Krishna, and she claimed that Krishna was her husband. And she wrote Tirupavai and dedicated to Lord Krishna, dedicated to God. In Tamil Nadu, Tirupavai Vrata, that is a ceremony, or it is observed every year. They will do this Tirupavai Vrata. It is very famous in Tamil Nadu, children. And also, according to the Alvars, all Vishnu devotees are equal and their birth should not be questioned. Whether they have born in any caste or any creed, they must not be questioned. All are equal. Caste discrimination is a criminal offense, they believed. Okay, children, and this is about Andal. Let me tell you about another important um, person from the Bhakti cult, that is Akka Mahadevi. See, by seeing her only you can see, children, Akka Mahadevi was an enterprising woman in the Vachana movement of 12th century. She has made immense contributions to Vachana literature. She has written many Vachanas, and she was born in Udutadi of Shimoga district. She was born in Udutadi of Shimoga district. Her father was Nirmala Shetty. Father was Nirmala Shetty and mother was Sumati. And Akka immersed in Shiva Bhakti. Since her childhood, she was immersed in Shiva Bhakti. She claimed Channa Mallikarjuna himself to be her husband. See, children, they were thinking the God itself as their husband. See how devoted and dedicated they were. Her parents, Akka Mahadevi's parents, they forcibly got her married to King Kaushika. She was very beautiful. So she got married with King Kaushika. She did not like the married life. She found it as a hindrance to her service to Guru Linga Jangama. So, what she did, she left the palace and went in search of for her way. She went. Later on, she stayed at Anubhava Mantapa. So, you all have heard about Anubhava Mantapa, isn't it, children? It is in Kalyana. There for some time she stayed, and in Anubhava Mantapa she wrote many vachanas under the pen name Channa Mallikarjuna. So I'll send you these some of the vachanas, children, which is written by her. You must sing and you must learn those vachanas and send it to me. And also what Akka Mahadevi was respected by all Shiva Sharanas. Later on, she left Kalyana and she went to Sri Shaila towards the end of her life. And she left her mortal body in the Kadali forest of Sri Shaila, which is in Andhra Pradesh. And here you can see him. You all, if you see the photo itself, you will come to know who is he, children. He is Purandaradasa. He is one of the important persons in Kannada Dasa literature. Purandaradasa was born in Purandaragada. Purandaradasa's original name was Srinivasa Nayaka, and his father was Varadappa Nayaka and mother Leelavati. And he was married to Lakshmi Bai. Lakshmi Bai was a religious woman. But Srinivasa Nayaka was a miser and atheist. He was not giving one pie to others. He was like that. But later on, he distributed all his wealth to the needy people and spent rest of his life in the thought of God. He traveled to many places and by singing kirtanas, and at last he reached Krishna Devaraya's court. You learnt about Krishna Devaraya, isn't it, children? Yes, there he went, and there you can see here the picture of Vyasaraya. Vyasaraya gave him Diksha and called him as Purandara. Later on, he became Purandara Dasa, and we can see humanness in all his songs. He condemned caste system, and we can also see the combination of philosophy, moral, and musical qualities in his songs. He is known as the Karnataka Sangeeta Pitamaha, father of Carnatic music, which was famously called as Dakshinadi music in those days. And he wrote kirtanas with the pen name of Purandara Vittala. In the end of his all his kirtanas, there will be Purandara Vittala. He was praised by his own guru, or guru means teacher, Vyasaraya. Vyasaraya as Purandara Dasa is ultimate as a Dasa. So, like that, Purandara Dasa led his life. Okay, children, I am going to send you two links of Purandara Dasa's Kirtanas and Akka Mahadevi's Vachanas, and also you must read Tirupavai. You can listen, you search for Tirupavai and listen to the Andal's Tirupavai. Okay, children, thank you.